Hey Omis, I'm Stephen Ewashkiw from Adventure Yoga, and thanks for joining me for this yoga pose breakdown of Ustrasana, also known as Camel Pose. This is a pose we do kneeling, and it's a back bend. So if you've got sensitive knees, you can double up your mat by folding it over, or grab a yoga blanket and place that on top of your mat and kneel on that. Get set up, and I will meet you there in just a few seconds. For this yoga pose breakdown of Ustrasana, or Camel Pose, please join me on your knees and kneel up. That means lift your body up like I'm doing. Have your legs going straight back behind you, and have your feet flat on the ground. If you're newer to the pose, you can tuck your toes underneath you. That's a really common way to practice Ustrasana. It makes it easier to reach back and grab your feet because they're higher up, so they're closer to your hands. Also, it means that you have to have less flexibility at your hips when you're doing the pose. So you can try them both and choose which one's appropriate for you. I'm going to do it with my feet flat so that you're seeing the classic form of the pose. Place your hands on your waist and point your elbows back behind you and expand your chest. Tone the bottom of your pelvic floor. So your mula bandha, if you know your bandhas. Move the left and right sides of your pelvis in a little bit. Move the front and back of your pelvis in a little bit. Create a little engagement at the bottom of your pelvis. And then a similar engagement at the front of your belly. Move the space around your navel back towards your spine a little bit and give that a little lift into the bottom of your rib cage. This is also called Uddiyana Bandha. Keep the toning of your pelvic floor, keep your belly moving back a little bit. And push down with your hands. So root down through your hips, push down with your legs, and push down with your feet. Keep that rooting down, and from your waist, start to lift up through the sides of your body, lengthen through the sides of your body, and lift up and start to do a back bend. Push your pelvis forward. Keep that toning of your pelvic floor or your mula bandha. Keep the toning of your belly and lengthen out of your spine, lengthen through the sides of your torso and curl your torso back into the back bend. When your heels are available, reach back one at a time with your hands and hold your heels. Push down with your hands, expand your chest. Push your hips forward, push your toes down, tone your pelvic floor, tone your belly, and work to balance out the back bend more. So lift through your upper back. You can look up at the ceiling, or for a more advanced variation, you can take your head and look back. If this hurts your neck, look up at the ceiling instead. If you're looking for another advanced variation, you can also work to place your hands flat on your feet so your palms are pressing into the soles of your feet, fingers same direction as your toes. Push your hips forward, tone your pelvic floor, tone your belly, lift through your upper back. This is Ustrasana, Camel Pose. To come out, push through your feet, lift through your breastbone. If your hands are on the soles of your feet, walk them to your ankles, lift up, bring your hands onto your waist, stretch through your spine, and then come into a child's pose. Bring your feet together, sit back on your heels, and fold forward. You can have your arms at your sides or stretch your arms forward, whichever feels good. And that's how we do Ustrasana, or Camel Pose. Please know that the modifications, the different variations of the pose, are there to help you.
If you need to pad your knees, pad your knees. If you want to tuck your toes, tuck your toes. And really, don't worry about that final version I did where I placed my hands flat on my feet. That's a super advanced variation of this. And I did it because I wanted to show you where the pose goes, but it's not very common that we go there with this practice. So for some of you, it'll be like, oh, cool, something new to try. And for others, it's like, oh, something years down the road. Yoga is there for all of us, and it's there for our whole life. Don't be in a rush. If you'd like to learn more about Ustrasana, I have written a whole blog post all about the benefits of Ustrasana, some of the contraindications, the things that might be going on in your body that mean you should maybe do an even more modified version of Ustrasana. It includes the step-by-step guide written out for this yoga pose breakdown, all sorts of stuff. And you can find that over on my website, adventureyogaonline.com. And there is, of course, a direct link to that blog post in the description for this video. If you'd like to do a full back bending class with me right now, there's one right there I recommend. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, come on, it doesn't take very long. Just click on my picture over there. Done. Whatever your day holds in store for you, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks, OMies. I'll see you soon.